What's up, everybody? Welcome to Geek Week 2021. I am super excited, even though I am already behind. So as you all know, no matter what fandoms I choose to focus on each Geek Week, I am always going to do something with Harry Potter. Last Geek Week, I chose to just kind of introduce myself in terms of what I loved in fandoms and which fandoms were some of my favorites, but now gets into the serious stuff. Now we're going to get into rankings, we're going to get into thoughts, we're going to get into reviews. So today we are obviously doing Harry Potter, not only because I really love it and it's my favorite fandom, but because I have to show off my new shirt. And since I already did reviews of all of the movies and ranking them, and since I still don't want to do Fantastic Beasts just yet because I want to save that till Fantastic Beasts 3 comes out, today I'm going to be doing something I've wanted to do for a while, naming my top 10 Harry Potter scores, which actually goes along really well with the fact that I'm going to be starting my Score of the Week bit pretty soon. Now, because there's like 80,000 of these scores, it was stupidly hard to try to pick. I still don't feel... It's like trying to pick among your children. Like, I still feel like there are some that I wanted to put in here and just couldn't. And I'll probably be crying about it forever. But I got it down to 10 with some honorable mentions, of course. So starting off with our first honorable mention, Living Death from the Half-Blood Prince. This is the score that they use when they're making the draft of Living Death. And weirdly enough, even though it is a very intense sounding name, it is one of the lightest scores of the whole series. And it's just got a really fun, light tone to it, and I love it. Honorable mention number 2, Hagrid the Professor from Prisoner of Azkaban. This is one that probably not a lot of people know about. It's kind of one of the more random ones on the soundtrack, but I love it because of that medieval, Renaissance sounding sort of thing that John Williams really went for in Prisoner of Azkaban. Honorable mention number 3, Harry and Hermione, which is super intense and super sad, but is such a beautiful score from Half-Blood Prince. Honorable mention number 4, Courtyard Apocalypse. This is the sad version of Statues from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, where the Statues is the more, let's get hyped, the battle's about to begin. Courtyard Apocalypse is everyone's dying and it's really sad, and there's just slight note changes and shifts from that first one to this one that just make it super intense and emotional. And my last honorable mention, the Deathly Hallows trailer score, which I guess technically isn't a Harry Potter score, but I mean, it kind of is. And it's super intense. Like, I love it so much. It got me so pumped for this last movie, and it's still one of my favorite trailers, if not my favorite trailer of all time. All right, on to the real list. At number 10, The Room of Requirement from the Order of the Phoenix. This is a really funky one. I love it. It's just got so many little deviations and little parts to it that it's the same theme, but it's got like different forms of it all the way throughout, and the montage that it goes to is super fun. But my favorite part is just this little piece of a couple notes with, I think it's a bassoon. Take a listen. I love that. It just feels very magical, and the quirky magic that Harry Potter has that I've talked about before. At number 9, Obliviate from Deathly Hallows Part 1. This is like, it sets the tone for Deathly Hallows and for the rest of the series. It is like shit is about to go down and things are serious and people are gonna die. I mean, it is just sad. Yeah, I don't want to say it hypes you up, because it's not like hype music. It's just really like something intense is coming. I've actually been able to, with my own books, the end of the 3rd book that I have written, I've actually in my head put that score to the scenes that happen at the end of my book. So it's like very personal for me too. At number 8, Mischief Managed from Prisoner of Azkaban. This one's kind of a cheat one because it's sort of combines three of them, Buckbeak's Flight, Window into the Past, and kind of the regular double Toil and Trouble. It comes at the end of Prisoner of Azkaban in the credits, so it's like a 12-minute long one, but I'm going to put it together because I love all three of those, and it's cool because it's got that, like I was saying, medieval Renaissance sort of feel that Prisoner of Azkaban has in the beginning, and then it shifts to this really emotional, reflective part of it with Window into the Past, and then finally the awesome Buckbeak's Flight, which makes you feel like you are literally flying with them, and it just, the whole thing is just beautiful. It's 12 minutes long, so it's super long, but I love it so much because it really embodies Prisoner of Azkaban. At number 7, Fawkes the Phoenix from Chamber of Secrets. This one is like straight John Williams. Like, it really sounds like some of his Jurassic Park scores as well. And this one, I'm just like, when I think of John Williams with Harry Potter, this is the one I think of. And it's just got this kind of, I don't know, it's got some intense moments a little bit later where it's like louder, but the beginning is just so comforting and relaxing. You feel like you're in Dumbledore's office just with Fawkes. It honestly feels like one of those themes that should be played like when you walk in to one of the rooms, like in Universal Studios. Like, you know, if you walk into Dumbledore's office, like if they made that, it feels like that should just be the aura around it, you know? At number 6, Nimbus 2000. This is another kind of side one that probably not a lot of people know about, because it honestly sounds a lot like some of the other more main themes, but it's got just a little bit of a deviation, and I don't know what it is. There's one specific moment where I think it's a flute that has this little dum, dum, dum. I cannot tell you why. It just makes me think of like some alleyway at night lit up with, like, you know, street lamps in London. Why? I have no idea. Maybe it's like sounds like the squeaking of wheels, you know, like the horse-drawn carriage going through or something. I don't know, but I love it. At number 5, Severus and Lily from Deathly Hallows Part 2. As much as I have grown out of the Severus and Lily and Snape being a good guy hype from when the movie came out, when the book came out, this theme is still as beautiful as it was the first day that I saw that movie. It is haunting, like especially the first part. It has a lot of different parts to it. Like, this is another one that sort of cheats because it also kind of has Dumbledore's farewell theme stuck in it as well. But the beginning specifically, that flute is just, it's basically like if a Thestral was music, because they are beautiful in a very haunting way. And every time I get to that scene, and especially when I hear that music, at that point I'm like, all the battle stuff's pretty much over except for maybe like the end scene. And then I get to this part and I'm like, all right, we're into the emotional parts, and it's gotten me into that, like, I'm gonna cry moment. Like, there's no turning back for the series. It's almost over. At number 4, Hedwig's theme from Sorcerer's Stone. Shock! It's not number 1? I know. It's weird because it's the main theme, but I don't know if it's just because it's always played. I think the 3 that I have at the top make me feel more of the Harry Potter world. This one is you recognize it as Harry Potter, but it doesn't like bring me into the world as much. But I mean, it's still like those first notes are so iconic. When I hear them, I get chills. At number 3, I honestly don't even know what to call this one, because funny enough, it's not on the album. There is literally no mention of this one on the soundtrack. It is the score that plays when Harry goes into Diagon Alley for the first time, and when they go into the Great Hall for the first time. Now, if you were to look on the soundtrack and look through the whole list, they have one that says Diagon Alley, but it's different. It's a different theme that they use in Chamber of Secrets, and I love that one as well. And then if you look at the entry into the Great Hall, that's a different one too. Trust me. I've looked. I have tried to find this, and the only way I can listen to it is if I play the scene. Like, if you guys know where to find it, let me know. But I have no idea where it even is. But that theme, that scene, like, immediately takes me back to my childhood. Like, immediately. That is one of my favorite scenes of all time, when he first goes into Diagon Alley. And I love the main part of it, and then I love the little side parts too, just when he's looking at all the stores, and it is just so cool. I don't know what it is about that theme, but it is one of my personal favorites. At number 2, Leaving Hogwarts from Sorcerer's Stone. This is like one of the best themes of all time, because in the first movie, it's like, wow, that was a great first movie. I am ready for the rest of this series. And in the last movie, this is over. And there's going to be more within the story. Like, we know that, but there's not any more for us. And it's just wells you up with emotion, especially at the end, because it's that last little bit of all this niceness. It's the last little bit of, all this magic and imagination and the wonder of the world and the soft moments. And then you get to this crescendo, and it just... And then the last couple notes one more time. And at number 1, Harry's Wondrous World from the Sorcerer's Stone. This is basically like the counterpart to Hedwig's theme. It's like these are the two main themes. But this one, whereas Hedwig's theme, it's got the iconic notes in the beginning, this one I feel like embraces... It showcases the whole world for me a little bit more. This, for me, is the Harry Potter world, which, it's called Harry's Wondrous World, so it should. But it really just, every time I hear it, it's so many parts to it with, the Quidditch and getting to Hogwarts and everything, but all of it just feels like this is the whole Harry Potter series, the whole Harry Potter world in 5 minutes. And it's like, you can't get better than that. You're like, okay, let me listen to this for 5 minutes. Wow, I've just explored all of Harry Potter. Like, it's so great. There were so many more I wanted to put in here. Guys, there's so many more. There's the Quidditch one. There's the Firestorm. There's statues. There's Dumbledore's army. There's so many, guys. But those are my top 10. And I think it's because they're the ones that, even without the movie, affect me the most, just really down into my core, just by themselves. What are your favorite Harry Potter scores? There are just so many to choose from. All of the composers were incredible. I know I didn't have any from Patrick Doyle, and I do want to say that his scores are incredible. There's just got so much of like this worldly feel to them, but I just happen to like some of the others more. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite themes? What are some of your favorite themes from the movies that aren't sort of the main ones, but are some maybe more of like a side one that not a lot of people listen to? Stay tuned for more Geek Week stuff. Really look on my Instagram and Facebook, but mostly the Instagram this week. I'm relying heavily on that this week for celebrating a lot of the stuff, just because I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to do as many of these videos for obvious reasons, just being behind and all the Oscars and everything. Next year we'll be back to normal. I swear to God, I'm going to have so much for next Geek Week. But look through all of the Instagram stuff. I have a lot of questions and posts and everything up on that one. I'm going to have 1 or 2 more videos, and it's going to be really fun. So just celebrate movies. Celebrate your favorite fandoms this week. Really go for it. And as always, keep your hopes high, your stress low, and fandoms right in the middle. I'll see you guys later.